But the biggest water issue of all won't be addressed until a new government takes office. It's the much anticipated water sharing plan for the Murray-Darling Basin, Australia's most productive food bowl. Scientists and community representatives have been working on the plan ever since a new Federal Water Act was passed in 2007, and irrigators are convinced it will impose huge cuts on them for the sake of the environment. A community discussion paper was supposed to be released about now, but the Murray-Darling Basin Authority shelved it until after the election, deciding it was inappropriate to release it while Canberra was under caretaker rule. Irrigators are fuming, as Paul Lockyer reports.
We don't know where our future is. Let's know exactly where we're going, at least we can plan.
So the simple solution is take water off irrigators and run it down the river.
It's just putting incredible angst on everybody.
The government's went out and spent all this money. They haven't even released the plan yet, their business plan, what they're going to do with the water.
The sentiments being expressed on a vineyard near Griffith reflect the mood in irrigation communities right across the Murray-Darling Basin. The delay in the release of the water sharing plan until after the election has only added to the uncertainty and the anger.
It's coming to the heart of what they do. It's affecting the whole fabric of who they are and their families.
The uncertainty is probably the thing that's weighed me down the most. I always think all these people that have had breakdowns, how could it happen? But I understand how it can happen, because you get to a point emotionally, it just keeps working on you.
It's just adding insult to pain at the moment is the fact that it's being delayed. We don't know when it's going to come out.
Stuart Ellis chairs the National Irrigators Council.
For goodness sake, let's get the figure out there so that we've at least got something that we can discuss.
Change driven by the environmental degradation that's become evident during the drought years along most of the rivers that make up the Murray-Darling Basin, especially at the end of the system in South Australia. Only seawater now flows through the mouth of the Murray, bringing marine life with it. The opening would have silted over long ago, but for the constant dredging.
The mouth's an easy icon to look at, but there are a whole lot of other big environmental assets that are suffering just like the mouth, but it's a little bit more difficult to see the impacts there.
Dr Mike Geddes has been monitoring the health of the Coorong since the 1970s. At the bottom end of the lagoon, it now gets up to 6 times saltier than the sea, and the only creatures that survive here are these tiny brine shrimps.
Now it's switched over to really be like a salt lake. Where you expect to find these brine shrimps are in Lake Eyre and Lake Torrens and the very salty lakes throughout Australia.
The whole system is on its knees. And unless we can get water back into the river, then it's all going to die.
Henry Jones has fished the lower lakes of the Murray River most of his life, witnessing the decline of the area.
I just pray that the politicians have got the guts to bring it off. It's our only chance down here, and I think it's just once in a lifetime chance to get the system right.
Meanwhile, irrigators are in limbo, waiting to hear the detail of their fate.
We know it's going to be disastrous, but for God's sake, get it out there. Stop playing with our lives.